Okay, boxing fans, right now I am going to talk to you about Bernard Hopkins versus Tavoris Cloud. This is going to be a decent, probably yet frustrating fight. I'm going to go through the people, go through the advantages, and then I'm going to tell you who's going to win. Right, starting with Tavoris Cloud, he is 24-0, undefeated, apparently. You see, he did lose pretty much every round except one to Gabriel Campillo. On the other hand, his opponent, Bernard Hopkins, is 52, and that's just his age. No, 52 wins, 32 of which by way of knockout, only 6 defeats, none of which by way of knockout, and there's also 2 draws thrown in there too. The champion in this fight is Tavoris Cloud. He is probably the weak link in the division at light heavyweight. He's been very inactive, and his record over the past 3 years is worrying, to say the least. If you want me to run through the last few fights he's had, he beat Zuniga, who lost all 12 rounds and was dropped a few times by James DeGale in his last fight. He got a TKO victory over Yusuf Mack in what was a very competitive fight. That all people say that. But then he's just been decimated by Carl Froch in his previous fight. And he won a split decision. He won a split decision over Gabriel Campillo. But the majority of people think that was a sickening robbery, where Campillo won every round bar the first, that he lost 10-7. Okay? So just keep that in mind for later when we're making the predictions. Just something to think about. We're looking at B-Hop. Yeah, B-Hop has fought much better opposition over the last few years. He's been in more competitive fights, and he's had a mixture of results. He drew with Pascal, many thought B-Hop won. He beat Pascal in the rematch, everyone thought B-Hop won. And then he lost the fight to Dawson in what was a competitive match. I don't think anyone thought B-Hop won that fight, but it was competitive, and Dawson had the style to give, B-Hop problems. Going into the advantages, and we're going to look at the power, okay? Tavoris Cloud on paper has the power. Let's look into it. He's got a slight advantage in the power that I'm going to give him here. So don't get too hyped on this, okay? It's only a slight advantage. In his last, let's look at his KO ratio. 19 of those 24 wins by way of knockout. Sounds great, but look at this. In his last 5 world title fights, he's only got 1 knockout. Okay? Only 1 knockout. So when he's moved up to world level, he's not been getting them out there. Not been getting them out of the ring. However, he has dropped his last 3 opponents, which suggests he does have power, he just cannot close the show. So that says he's got a lack of killer instinct. That's what I've worked it out as. Okay? Let's look at B-Hop. He's not scored a knockout since 2004. He's not scored a knockdown since he fought Calzaghe. Is that 2008? I'm not sure. That's just an average guess. Point being, he doesn't expend that much energy. He just lands the shots he needs to rack up points and frustrate the opposition. Don't expect B-Hop to knock anyone out. Here's where B-Hop goes and knocks Cloud out in round 1. There you go. Point being, let's go to the next attribute. Speed. Okay, Cloud, as the younger man, he should be the faster fighter, let's be real. However, he can go in there and he can telegraph his punches. That was one of the issues he had in the Campillo fight. He telegraphed all of his power shots. Campillo had time to hit him with a counter punch and also get out the way. A lot of people can make defensive adjustments against Cloud because he can be quite one-dimensional. Like I said, he can telegraph his punches. You know where they're coming from. That's how a lot of the guys survive. He's got a young man's fighting style, does Tavoris Cloud. However, he is 31, which isn't young for an athlete. So he's coming towards the end of his athletic career anyway. The question is, does he have longevity by having great boxing skills like B-Hop? I don't know. You can answer that question. B-Hop, let's look at his style. And he doesn't fight where he's going to put his speed on showcase. What he does is he fights in short bursts to maximise his hand speed, yet save his stamina for the distance. I mean, what is he? Almost 48, 49, 50? Says a lot, really. let's look at the last one I'm going to go through, and that's the boxing ability. Okay, this is where Bernard Hopkins comes into his own, and that's through having the boxing ability and the experience. Bernard Hopkins is a much better boxer out of the two fighters in the ring. In fact, I would say Bernard Hopkins is a much better boxer than Tavoris Cloud could ever aspire to be. In his dreams, he could aspire to be as good as Bernard Hopkins. B-Hop has developed the experience, fighting guys who are, better than Cloud, and he's developed almost every trick in the book. He's seen almost every style out there, and he's got the experience fighting bigger people than Cloud, bigger punchers than Cloud, who have been expected to blow him out of the water. The point is, it's never happened. He's never been truly destroyed. He's never been truly beaten. Well, convincingly. I've just got to throw that one out there. Everything's up to no one's ever knocked him out. It's always went to points. Something to think about. Let's not also forget Tavoris Cloud. He is overhyped. He's very one-dimensional. He's got one plan, no plan B, and if plan A doesn't work, to be honest, he's fucked, as you've seen in the Campillo fight. It's fine when you look at the Zuniga fight and stuff like that, and also we'll go with the Zuniga fight. With that, his power was the difference. He was able to knock him down, and the amount of times he knocked him down was able to get him such a high points thing that it didn't matter. But if you look at the points and you see how it must have all racked down, Zuniga won rounds against him. Zuniga against James Gale didn't win anything. B-Hop doesn't really. He knows how to win the rounds. Cloud's going to have to knock him down a lot of times, otherwise it's going to be a very hard fight for him. Also, Cloud, I reckon that this guy Cloud, I've been watching him, and he's going to work right into B-Hop's fight. This could be an easier fight than the Pascal fight, I think. I mean, Cloud's not going to fight like Dawson, so don't look at the Dawson fight and say, oh well, he lost to Dawson, so it doesn't matter. I mean, Cloud doesn't fight like Dawson. He's not got the same attributes. He's not got the same style. It's going to be a very hard fight for Cloud. In fact, I'm gonna put it like this: I see B-Hop frustrating him. I see B-Hop fighting dirty at times. I see Cloud becoming demoralised, and I see a similar fight to the Pavlik fight ending in a decision for Bernard Hopkins. Tell me what you think about this fight, and put your predictions in the comment section.